lots and lots is happening, but I love people in my team. Do you know what I mean? I see the need. The busier I am, all I'm thinking is, oh, who's the next hire? Who's the next hire? Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking about that a lot lately, heaps, because I went from having, say, a PA part-time to then going, nah, fuck it, I need a PA full-time. Then I've had a PA full-time. I'm like, okay, shit, who's the next person I need to get in? So I've been thinking about that a fair bit lately, and what that looks like in the business and in my life.
So who's your next hire?
My next hire post the PA, so will be probably a GM. I reckon that's the most significant one. That'll be a big step for me. And something else I've realized, which I've always known anyway, but I'm glad I acted on it because I said I would in the past, about, hiring people, taking a bit of time when you hire the right person. But if they're not the right person, like, get rid of them ASAP. Don't just go, oh, maybe they'll come good. Maybe if I give them a bit more time. No, if they're shit, they're shit. And I recently came across that where I had an employee, employed them within 4 weeks. And then I called you up one day and it was funny. And I go, hey, that person? You're like, yep, I fired him. Like, and you thought I was joking for about 15 minutes. Like, come on, mate. Just what's going on? What's going on? I'm serious. I got rid of them. How'd they go? But duds, their expectation, my expectation wasn't there. I wasn't willing to compromise the role for that person in their role to feel more comfortable. And I tried, like, to the degree of, if there were things that weren't going to compromise their service to the company and to me, would have done it, no worries. Do you know what I mean? Like, if they wanted a heater under the desk, you know what I mean? Stuff like that, no worries. I'll compromise. I'll do whatever we need to do. You want to get some nice flowers in here? Great. We'll do that.
That's your compromise. I'll give you a heater. I'll give you a heater for your legs.
That's it. That's it. Nothing else. But do you know what I mean? I'm saying I would do things to make it more comfortable for them, not just physically, but environmentally. And whatever they need in their role to be better perform. Maybe they wanted more training. No worries. Let's get that. Like, I would do those things. But when you start, like, say, for example, we've had this conversation, I don't like the whole working from home thing. Like, yeah, I actually put it in the ad, this isn't a work from home role. Are you okay to be commuting and coming to the office every single day? And, the people that ticked yes, great, we're going to the next interview. The people that did no, straight off, like, they were completely disqualified. And they came to me later going, oh, I want an opportunity. I want to be able to have more flexible work hours. So hang on. Your role is personal assistant. Okay, I want you at my beck and call whenever I need something done, not going, oh shit, it's Tuesday, they're not working today. And I said that in the interview, and I said it in the questionnaire before you apply. So you're fully aware of what I wanted, and now the goalposts are changing. I'm like, nah, not on. And I wasn't willing to compromise on that, plus other things, and got rid of him, just like that. And I'm glad I did. And I'll do it again, and I'll do it again, and I'll do it again until I find the right person. So I think to date, I've been relatively lucky with employees. I've had a pretty good run. I've had good heads in and around the company. And I find that when you get the right ones, they stick. I'll be here for a while.
What determines the right one?
I think attitude is massive. I can teach skills. I can't teach attitude. And someone that's going to fit within the culture too. So I've done quite a few interviews lately, and I've just walked in here and I'm actually sick of talking to people and interviewing, but you got to go through that process.
It's the worst.
Yeah. I thought I would enjoy it more than I am.
I think it is one of the key fundamentals that most people suck at. That you need to be good at.
I'm following a script too.
Are you?
Yeah. I wrote one down, and you would know about it. We've done it in an NLP training. Metaprogramming. A little bit, not all of them, but some of them.
You find it works?
Some of the questions, yes. Not all of them. Just in as far as listening to their language, like we were just talking about before, excellent, all that sort of stuff. Listening to their language and how they respond to certain questions gives me a bit more of a idea what they're going to be like. But what I've found is most people are actually duds when it comes to, but even to the interview, like, sell yourself, man.
Yeah.
Like, you're there to sell yourself to me. This is a sale. And they can't, when talking about sales, it's fucked at the moment. Like, people can't do it and it's hard.
Yeah.
That is a sale. When you were going for a job,
you're selling yourself.
You're selling yourself. Like, pump that shit up. Every single person I've interviewed, I felt like I was trying to pump them up to get excited about coming to work here. There was one person that I interviewed today, and she may not be the best skilled out of all the ones that I've interviewed, but so far she's a front runner. Because I'm like, you were keen to actually work. You were excited to work. You had done your research on me and the company before you even got onto the interview. Do you know, that is what I found fascinating. So many people are like, I said, tell me a little bit about why you applied for the role at the company. What excites you about working here?
Oh, that's a shit question.
Yeah, but I want to just see, it's not about the question. I want to see, have you fucking done any research on Pascon? Have you gone onto Instagram and looked at me? Have you done anything to show any level of interest? It's not the question. I don't give a shit about whether you have studied what projects I finished.
Yeah, like that's...
I couldn't give a shit.
No, like...
I just want to know, have you done any level of due diligence before you stepped into before you stepped onto this Zoom call? And 90% of them have not. Some of them have. I go, yeah, I love that project in Brighton that you're doing. That's awesome. I see that you're doing this. Okay, cool. That's all I want to know with that question. I don't care about anything else. But also I want to know why they're applying for the role. That was me, don't worry.
Yeah,
it wasn't Iggy. Little mic noise, and Robby straight away looks at Iggy as like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I don't use I know the questions you're talking about, like the meta programming questions. I don't use them because I don't know anyone that's used them successfully.
Okay. There was only, out of all of them, there's 3 questions. I don't go 1 to 15 or whatever it was.
Yeah,
There's 3 questions out of it that I would ask. And one of them was, if we were to do a project together, are you a details person or a big picture person?
Yeah, so it's like
correct. So I just want to know which one they are. I would like someone that comes into this role to be a details person, because I'm big picture. I know this is what I want to do. I want to know the person that I give the role to or the task to is going to have all the details checked, done, and I don't need to worry about it. So that one I look at. Can't remember what the other one was, but yeah, nothing too, I don't go in depth with it. Yeah. I'm sure there is a skill to it too.
Oh, dude, I think it's a huge skill. I think it is something you need to, and we've touched on this previously, but I think it's one of those things that you need to constantly be building on.
Yeah.
Like even when you're not, to have a pipeline.
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're going to do it all the time.
Yeah, be like, hey, like this person is a good contact. Like I might hire them one day and keep contact.
Yeah.
For that reason.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And maintain those relationships so that when the opportunity comes around, the new role pops up, whatever it might be, you're like, cool, I know a few people I can call for this.
Yeah.
Or you might say, hey, do you know anyone? I need a PA, do you know anyone?
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, I actually know someone.
Yeah.
So-and-so, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that goes a long way.
Yeah, dude, 2 things. 1, you connect 2 good people together.
Yeah.
Like 2 people that you care about, you just help them both out. You know what I mean? So-and-so needed the job, so-and-so needed the role filled. Boom. Happy days, right? And I think that's one thing we fail to do. Like we don't, when the problem's gone, we don't focus on that anymore. Like we don't think about, you know?
Yeah.
It'd be like not thinking about food until you're hungry. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're like, fuck, I'm hungry. Well, I'm going to eat.
Yeah, and then you eat anything.
Yeah. And then you literally eat anything, just like you hire anyone.
Yeah.
And then you're like...
And that's what I didn't want to do this time around, because I need someone. I've got an event next weekend and I need someone to help me out with it. I've got backup, it's fine. But in this perspective but I made it a very clear point to myself. I'm not going to just hire anyone. I want to hire the right person. And I thought, I don't regret that hire that I did of the person I let go. Don't regret it. They started off well, and they were at the time the right hire, and they were the right person for their role. Their expectation changed. Mine wasn't willing to change, and just came to a crossroad. That was a simple decision for me in the end. But I also look at it from the perspective of, I reckon if I was to go for any job in my field, guaranteed I would get it. As in, if I was going to apply for a job now at X and such building company, don't worry, done. Just get the contract ready on the day. I've got that much confidence in myself to be able to sell myself to them and say, this is the best hire. I am the best hire for you. Just get rid of all your other applications. Let's do it.
Okay, so what should someone who's listening to this now who wants to apply for a job, what should that person...
Yes. If you actually genuinely want the job. So you found a company...
How do you know if you want the job?
How do you know?
Yeah, before you've interviewed. Because my thing,
then also...
I used to always say, I'm interviewing here.
What do you mean?
When I would go in for an interview, I would say, like, I want to see if I want to work there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there's some good questions you could ask. I would be asking, so tell me, what are the career paths, opportunities for me in this role? If someone said that to me, that straight away shows me, okay, great, future growth. They've got that in mind. They're a high performer. They want to see that there is progression in this career that they're pursuing, in this company. I would personally like that. And a lot of people don't say stuff like that. But let's go back one step to prepare. Say you like the company, you like the role, everything looks good on paper. First thing you want to do is definitely do a bit of research on the company, on the directors, whatever you can. Now it's so easy. It's so easy these days. Most people have some form of social media presence from a professional background. Could be just LinkedIn, could be social media, Instagram, Facebook, the works. Furthermore to that, you can look at the company. 90% of companies these days are doing some form of social media, not just their website. People used to just go to the website back in the day, but now there's so many more things that you can actually look at and study. Then from there, I would prepare. So I would prepare as far as, okay, well, what do I want out of this? What questions could I ask this potential employer about things that are important to me? And then how can I impress them? How can I put my best foot forward? How can I show, cool, this is what I'm about. This is what we do. This is how I can fulfill. This is I reckon there was one time when I went for a job at a company, and I know what got me the job. I sat there, and this is before I was really that experienced in that space. I actually said to the two directors interviewing me, I said, listen, I go, I feel that the experience that I've had through commercial tier 1 construction experience, I can bring a lot of that experience to you and to the company, give you a whole bunch of systems, policies, procedures that I can implement or that I can just show if you want, and help bring some significant improvement in my time that I'm working with you, right? So someone showing that they're willing to come in and do the work, do extra, want to be a part of the journey, it's like a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. And that's what I've been a little bit disappointed in, that people just didn't have that real hunger for the job. It's like, oh yeah, I want this job, but yeah, if I get it, great. If not, then that's cool too. What would you do? Or what would you like to see from an applicant?
So from as the person hiring or being hired?
No, the person hiring.
As the person hiring. I'm hiring at the moment.
Yeah.
Same position, first round of interviews. No. Like you just, I follow a, so I spoke about this book once called Top Grading.
Yeah.
I actually follow a method from there.
Yes.
Yes. I actually follow a method from there where they're big on past history. And I always ask the question of, okay, what was your last job? Why'd you leave? How long were you there for? What did you like the least about it? And then I say, if I called, and this is directly from the book, okay, to your best guess, if I called your boss, if I called him now, what would he say about you? What would he say your biggest weakness is?
Yeah, that's good.
And then
I care too much.
And then I work too hard. I don't let you pay me overtime. And then my follow up to that is, okay, we're big on doing our homework on things. Would you be happy to arrange an interview with them? Do you know what I mean? So are you happy to arrange for me to speak with them? And they either freak, or they say yes. And it's apparently one of the biggest things that supposedly.
Would you, have you gone down that path and asked those questions?
Yeah.
And would you follow through and have a chat with their past employer?
I haven't hired anyone yet. I haven't done that. I think it's probably worth it, yeah. Because if they're a really good person, like let's just say, for example, I'm sure you'd have some previous people that you've worked with where you're like, hey man, this guy was a great guy. Like, and I wish him nothing but the best. And for what he wanted now, the next step for him wasn't here.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I look at my personal career path in that space. I always left. Actually, once I got made redundant, but the other two times I left. But I think each of those, every single person I've ever worked with or for, they would give me a glowing review, no sweat. No sweat.
I think a big red flag as well is when they sit there dissing their old workplace.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I'm thinking back to most of my employees that worked for me in the past that have left. Most of them I would happily give a review. And that's the thing. I look at it from a perspective, like you're a temporary custodian of your role in this company. You said it the other day. Eventually you're going to leave. You might die. You might be 90 years old, but you're going to not work here one day. You know what I mean?
Not going to be here one day.
You're not going to be here one day. So everyone's a temporary custodian in that role in the business at some stage of their life. And I look at it that way. I don't care if you're with me for 5 years, 1 year, 10 years, whatever it is. Doesn't bother me. As long as when you're here, you're here. You know, you're committed, you're pushing in the right direction, you enjoy the process, you enjoy the journey, do the hard yards, and have a little fun. And success.
What is success?
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click just over here. Or if you want to watch the full episode, you can click over here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.